go. Hello, everybody. Super crisp, super sharp. I can see the individual pixels. Hello, everybody. Oh, I can hear myself twice. Oh, no. Oh no, not McAfee, not that Norton. You know what they say? Those things give you more viruses. Classic Zarek, says Salty Nick. I, I, I mean, we're both in like life situation, moments where we're like moving our whole thing, are all set up. So this is temporary, guys. Temporary thing, okay? One of these streams, you're gonna see me, and I'm gonna have like all of this like black painted wall, and these are gonna be built-ins, and all my models will be on display. So it's yeah, I've got plans. Got a new house coming, so I'm super excited. Yeah, but hi everyone. Got Shining Dagger on there. Mike, how's it going, Mike? And then Jeremy Renard. Yeah, and it's on Backerkit, right? Like I need to refresh this. There we go. Cool. I'm hearing you from me, but let's see. Oh,
There we go. There we go. Can everybody hear me now? My mic was not working that whole time. So the
the
times I
whole
said
time.
technical issues, nobody heard me. But I think we're good now. I just need to, we need to share this as many places as we can. But yeah, so hello everybody. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Over
Oh,
here.
Dagger, awesome. Salty Nick, dude,
Loud and clear
holy
now.
cow. Okay, good. Thank you everybody. Um, we are ready for Q&A.
Yeah.
um, I was just trying to get some stuff pulled up on the Backerkit page. That way I can make sure everything is working on that end. Is it? It's probably doing the thing where it makes you disappear. There we go. And there, I've got, I'm gonna throw up our little, dude, holy cow. Okay.
Uh-huh. Nice. But yeah, we hit 303 people, 303 backers. Beautiful, beautiful thing, man. We unlocked something epic, something awesome that, uh, with any luck, Zarek will show off.
Yeah, there we go. Just
No, it's like,
ironing out the kinks that show up every time. Yeah, so we'll just leave this here. Anybody who's joining, I'm going to shut off your camera for 1 second, Ricky, since we were running behind. I didn't get to share it everywhere. Did you share in our Discord?
yeah, yeah, it's already up there.
Oh, I meant, did you shared the
The
stream in the
link?
Discord?
Yep, yep.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Here I'll put in what is tabletop. I think is that general? No.
I'm just having some wonky things happen with my computer. So sorry everybody if you're hearing some um, weird sounds. It's just some like badoom badoom constantly. Well, it's not constant, but it keeps happening every now and then. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. You got great audio.
yeah, you're well, not through my mic. It's only gonna come through on my actual sound. So, anyways, yeah, how is everybody doing today? We're just a little bit behind here for a moment because I have some new stuff that I set up and was getting set up right before we went live. And so I'm just sharing around in a few places. And yeah, I think, yeah, there's the beeping sound. So
Howdy.
hopefully it's not a big deal for folks. But yeah, I think I'm ready to be able to pay attention again here. Sorry, everybody. Let me get Ricky back. And there we go.
Howdy, howdy.
Okay. Got Mike M asked a question. Is there anything, I guess, before we jump into questions that you wanted to talk about, Ricky?
No, I mean, we hit 300 backers. I know we're going to get into what that means and what
Yeah.
we're going to release as a result of that. So, but yeah, really excited, just to be able to jump into this and just the Backerkit. I'm blown away by it, right? Like 303 people now. So cool, you know. But yeah. You wanted to jump into it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if I can. Good Lord. I have not had
Mm.
this level of problems in a while. My little laptop is just giving me trouble today. Do you want to go ahead and read the first question there from Mike M while I
Yeah,
try to?
yeah. Yeah, Mike. So you asked, what about the game are you most excited by, and what was the hardest part of the game to design? So we're going to release a couple of fun videos here, but I think one of the videos that I recorded that I had the most fun just like talking through and just writing up was momentous actions in the game. I think is like just the most exciting and fun thing because in every play that I've been recently playing with, folks are using that action to do something that's like it's just outside of scope, right? It's truly heroic. It is momentous, it makes or breaks the scene of the movie, if you will, some folks were like, hey, these soldiers are trying to tell you to escape, and they're like, no, we're all escaping, and they literally grabbed all of them. It was such a fun thing to do that I feel like is just a great way that we can make use of that unique action, that uniqueness of Indominant brings, because you don't have that in other games where you can just do this kind of cool action that it makes sense and there's rules that back it up that you're making that check. It's awesome. It's in intent of being a hero and so on. So really really excited for that and to hear about how people go and use that. And then probably the hardest part of game design. Um, that one's coincidentally that's one's a little tough for me to think through because I think one thing that's been really fun with Zarek and I is like I try to think like as like simple as possible, or right? I'm like, Zarek, I need you to read that back to me. I don't get it. And so he's been very analytical and had really really amazing like numbers and things like that. And so it's been really cool to like work together on like, okay, we want this nice complex system, but I also need it to be super simple for Ricky's brain. So I think that's kind of the thing. Like when we get together, like that's the thing that's just a beautiful thing. We can actually go and build out some really cool systems together and so on. But I think getting to that point where you're like coming up with an idea that's kind of is the hard part, and you want to make it unique, you want to make it fun, but fun for yourself. Right, I think it's so crucial. Like, how do you make it fun for you? That's that hard part, right? Without making it something that's overblown or anything like that. That just doesn't work at all. So, anyways, long-winded answer there on it's just been something just to make sure that it's something that I can really be proud of and be happy that like, hey, I want to play this game. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe Zarek, are you good?
Yeah, I am. I'm having some weird connection where you pause for a moment and then like talk fast, but I don't know if it's my internet or what.
Oh,
Um,
oh man.
but for me, what I'm most excited about, I think actually is custom signature powers is probably what I'm most excited about. Um,
Yeah.
that is just something that is very fun and exciting. You get to, it's something that I had been thinking about for a really long time before Ricky and I talked about it and decided to pull the trigger and say, okay, we're going to make this change to signature powers. Because before they were like set powers, just like all the other powers you choose. And I don't know, every time I like thought more about
Yeah.
that, it just something didn't feel quite right to me that it was like a set thing, but we called it a signature power. And our playtesters from early on who had seen those things, they said the same thing. They said it's kind of weird that my signature power or my two signature power options are the same as for everybody with the same power set. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Exactly.
And for the hardest part of the game to design, hmm, I think I've that's kind of a very hard question for me to answer. I think I've got to go with like oddly the game economy. It's not something we focus on a lot, but the like money aspect of the game was hard. We just kind of picked arbitrary numbers, if you will, and like
Yeah. Our economy might be a little crazy.
yeah, I mean we
Yeah.
we did it right, but um, it
Yeah.
just to me like how do you decide what this arbitrary number is, you know? Um, so
And
yeah,
he's a numbers guy. How does this happen?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think we tried to do some real world stuff of how much some things cost, and then we try to break down. I think the ultimate hard part. You said this to me once, Eric. Like, if you're a superhero, like, why do you have money? Like, what do you need money for?
Right, right. That's what I mean. Like
you know?
figuring out what do
I,
we want supers to like use
yeah.
their money on and how much should these things cost? Like, um,
Yeah.
and it's not a big part of the game, but you can definitely kind of focus on it. It's something that you can have be an
Hmm.
impactful part of the game. We say generally you don't need to count like the credits that you spend. So your lifestyle kind of tells you what the average spend per day is for that lifestyle, and um, you don't have to really count that every day. It just can be assumed, for being a superhero that your you have enough of a flow to cover that. And so like the credits that you
Exactly.
count are just like what you can spend, like your expendable income. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, there's a lot of room for like discussions around that and whether or not superheroes kind of matters with that. And so that's why I think for us it was pretty hard to
Yeah.
design, or for me, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, and those rules too. I think the both of us, like we don't play our normal other games like that, like because they bog down the role play, they bog down maybe a bit of the story. That's why some of those things are, like a little bit harder for us to put into it because it's again back to my point, right? Like, was that a fun aspect, right? That I had to jot down. I paid $200, 200 credits in our game, for I don't know the meal
Right.
or imagine, right?
Yeah.
Or for whatever bunkering down at the hotel and things like that. So
Yeah, exactly, Dagger. It varies character to character whether that's like impactful for them and their story or not. And then Noveler, I
yeah,
think that's Jesse in the Discord. Um, they're probably not here. I
nice.
don't think he's here anymore, but he hopped in and said, sorry that he can't be here. But hey, you're doing legs
Yeah,
and abs at the gym, so good. It's good for you.
leg day. Yeah.
I never did leg day because I wanted my legs to work for basketball.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, Mike. That's what we're here for. Just giving answers. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And then Ricky mentioned, obviously, today we passed 300 backers. And so while we don't have any questions, or
Boom, boom,
like it's
boom.
nobody's asking questions, I think we'll talk about the power cards. And honestly, I can probably even show them a bit, or like what we've got
Yeah,
now. We're going to send out an update
yeah,
tomorrow because we were just kind of, Ricky and I were going back and forth this morning about some of the finer details um, on those power cards. So,
yeah. Let's do it.
okay, let me get it pulled up then.
Yeah,
Nathan, you're too nice.
Zarek,
Or
how did you get
Nathan.
so good looking?
Oh, I thought he was talking to you.
Ah, jeez.
Maybe it's because I trimmed my beard today. I don't know. I was looking kind of homeless before, like 30 minutes ago.
Is that a 1080p iPhone camera?
Yes, there you
Camera.
go. That's what it is.
Showing you the real you.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah, but on these
getting.
cards, we're both card players. I've played plenty of Magic. I've played a lot of Pokemon, and ultimately, board games they have these different like card packs or anything like that. And we've seen these for like things like D&D, like spell cards, stuff like that. And so we're like, what can we do for our own, and what can we do that somebody at home it doesn't matter. You could just print them out on any printer. Keep it simple enough there. I think the eventual future is to have high definition, really cool looking cards, obviously, but I think what's cool right now is just being able to place those powers in front of you. You could get some hardstock paper and print it out, and there you go. You got these cards that you can use and keep things simple for how you're out there, spending on those powers during a combat.
Yeah, yeah, or
So
even
you don't have to look
printed
at your
on
character sheet
regular.
as much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that way too, you don't have to write out the powers that you choose if you have them all printed out. And like you could print them out on just regular copy
yeah,
paper and laminate them. I mean, there's so many ways to handle those. Um,
oh yeah,
but that way, when you select your powers, you just grab the card and you don't have to write any of that info down anymore. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, and like it's another,
and
it's one less page you need to like flip over for your character sheet too. So they are
oh yeah.
printable. I'm trying to make sure I can get it pulled up here. Um,
While you're
and
doing that, eventually we're going to have to update our mat. We do have game bats available at Odynski.com. You can find them.
yeah,
But my whole point in bringing this up is I play Magic on this now. So, but being able to have like with the square grids or whatever to have those on there, that would be kind of cool. So Yeah, but it's just really nice quality mat. I like it.
Did the stream shut down or something? All of a sudden it says we've got 0 viewers.
Uh,
Okay, it just might have been my thing needing to update.
no, yeah, live.
It said there was 0 all of a sudden. So, but yeah, like Ricky's also wearing the
Something wrong.
shirt, like he said, and we've got the mat. I'm probably gonna get. We have another mouse pad that's a smaller one. I think it's like more like this big, something like that. The one Ricky pulled
Yeah,
up is
yeah.
obviously huge. Um, what is still going for you? Oh, the stream, probably.
The
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, no, technical issues on my computer, I think. So, um,
I lost
okay.
your live view. I can't see you anymore, but it's all good, Zarek.
Uh, okay. Looks like it's still
I'm
on
gonna
the
guess what
stream.
silly faces Zarek is making at me.
Yeah, it's still showing good for me on the screen or on the stream. So, I don't know.
Sweet.
Oh, I turned off my camera on Discord to try to help with the my connection that kept
Fair.
slowing
No, all
me
good,
down.
man.
So, okay. Now, what is going on? It is not showing the page at all. Huh. Can you see that on the stream? It just looks blank.
Uh, I don't see the cards themselves. No, I just see Affinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who are wanting to get into game design or even just publishing at all, man, Affinity, the program, awesome software. You know, Zarek, I joke with him all the time, but I feel like he's gotten a degree in graphic design this last year, just using this thing. You know, making our primer out of it, right? Being able to like do all these pages and all the things that I'm sure everybody's seen by now, right? That was all Zarek in Affinity, and it's a one-time purchase. So, hey, not sponsored or anything, but I know there's some people on here that love being, creative.
Yeah.
Totally recommend you get into that.
Yeah, Affinity's great. It's a one-time purchase and then you're done. So, um,
Yep.
it can be very nice. So I guess for some reason it's not showing anything on Affinity. So I've got to figure out a different way.
Hmm. Maybe just grab a screenshot of it and then show
Yeah.
the photo of that
I was just
of that screen grab.
grabbing. There we go.
Nice.
There we go. Now I can zoom in here to make those easier to see. There we go. So this is the fire example that we've got. You can't quite see it on here because I've got dark mode on, but there's a little black border. I set it up. We're going to make some modifications to it just to add a little bit more information, like the tier of the power. Um, I guess that might actually be the only thing on the front. And then the back side will change a little bit. The words of the power set that it belongs to will get a little smaller. I think I'll move those to the bottom and then we'll put our logo at the top or
Yeah.
something. But we're trying to keep it minimalist so that when you print them, it doesn't just like blow up your ink and make you need to go through like 3 or 4 ink
Yeah.
cartridges. So, or toner. So just trying to keep it, um,
Yeah.
yeah, simple, minimalist, give you the info you need. Like we said, we'd like to eventually make like real legit cards that can have nice colors all over them and things like that. But for now, these are just meant to be. They're very utilitarian in design.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And so back to Mike's question. So this is me and Zarek were going back and forth today, and I was like, "Oh, you should move it this way, and you should move it that way." It's like, but Ricky, we need it to fit this way. So it's just fun. I think designing things is fun,
absolutely.
and then we like being able to just mix and match different ideas and so on, just to get like the best of what looks good. So
Yeah, yeah. D&D unoptimized. Yeah, what we're gonna do is I think in like the top left. Um, well, I don't know if I can like draw on this. Somewhere on
Yeah.
here though.
Oh, we see your mouse. We see your mouse moving too.
Oh, okay. So like somewhere up here
Yeah.
on the top right corner or something. I don't know, maybe we'll put it down here and move some of this other info or put it here, but we'll put the tier of the power as well, maybe on the opposite side of the action. And then
Yeah.
might change up a little bit of spacing. And then that way, yeah, you can see the tier, and so you don't have to remember which tier it is. And I'm thinking that will go on
Yeah.
the front, that way you don't have to flip it over to see that. All the like info you need on one side, and then the back side, I was thinking it might be nice to have the power set that it's from, just so when you're sorting them, it's again utilitarian, right? Like you want to be able to quickly and easily separate them from each other, and so having the iconography and the big lettering is kind of the goal there. Hello, Ulrich. So yeah, it's not done. We'll post tomorrow. I'm gonna touch these up with some more edits, and then once the Backerkit campaign
Yeah.
ends, we'll do a more official version. I don't think we'll have anything
Yeah.
above primer powers until the PDF of the book is done. But I might try to get,
Yeah.
for
Makes
playtesting,
sense.
might try to get some of the primer powers out on the power cards for everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense too, right? Because the powers there, you said it earlier in the Discord that they've basically been tested mechanically a lot, so a lot of, good things locked in there. But yeah, it'll be a little bit to release for, power 6 to 10, right? Or level when you get to level 6 to 10,
Yeah,
when
tiers
all the ones
5 and
available.
6.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we might do progressive,
yeah.
but I don't.
So it'll be
Yeah,
just
we'll see.
yeah.
Sorry if I cut you off. It's because there's a delay every now and then. I'm not meaning to be rude, Ricky.
No, don't worry about it.
So
I'm so offended, Eric.
there, I can make it a little bigger.
But yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're really excited for the cards, Dagger.
Yeah,
We definitely want to, have those out there. I want to print them out. I printed out a bunch of like random different cards, for different role play tools and stuff. So same thing. I just want to be able to have them and
yeah,
tap them. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we'll try to ride the balance of like having them be kind of nice looking to a degree, but still, like I said, not heavy on ink. So we might put little circles for the action points they use. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do a couple.
yeah,
We'll do like one iteration here soon, and then, like I said, we'll do another maybe for the primer powers. Maybe honestly, probably not until we finalize the design. But yeah. So that's really all it
yeah,
there is for those cards. Um, just have
yeah.
all these
Could there be
items in.
48 cards per power set, right?
Yeah, total at the end when it's all said and done. Well, there'll be 480 cards for you to print out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try. So the way I'm gonna set up the document is so you would
Chump
print
change.
you would print front and back. So there should be able to be at least 6 cards on every page. Um, I
Yeah.
might be able to set it up to
Oh,
be more than that actually.
you may want to do well. Somebody who wants to print double-sided, one page is all the front of the cards, the second is the back of the cards. So that way they just print double-sided and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it
they
would
got a
be
card.
double. You would be intended to
Okay,
print double-sided. That way the back is always with the card. So you just cut it out once and
got
it's got the front and back.
it.
So
Nice.
yeah,
I like it.
there's actually for Dominion, I used something like that for Dominion, which is a really fun card game. And there's a online tool someone made where you can pick out the decks you want and how to sort it and all that, which is it's really fancy. I won't be able to do that, but I'll
So
just
cool.
make a document for every power set that
Yeah,
people can have.
that's so
So
cool. And then, who knows, right? Folks can proxy in whatever designs and styles they want too,
yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool one day to have cool artwork in the back of the power of what it looks like, right? Like heat sink throwing the fire beam, and Indominus using some of his super strength, right? Like just things like that.
Yeah, yeah. We have, I think we've talked about it before, but we've got some other stuff cooking in the background for future projects that we would probably mimic similarly for that, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and then
Hmm.
Ulrich said, can we set up a version to print on demand from drive-through's card printing service? I think we could. I don't see why not, but 480
Yeah.
cards is a lot, so it might get pretty pricey. But we'll look into that.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
poker style cards. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean they're known for it, right? So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Drive-through has a good card printing service, so we'll look into that as an option. Um, just see how it works. And yeah, because that would be, I guess, that way somebody doesn't have to have their own printer. Or, I mean, I was thinking
Right.
like it's the kind of thing you could go to Xerox or FedEx or whatnot. They print out papers too. But in case you don't want to do any of that, I think it's good to have another option. It just,
Yeah,
um, so yeah, I think that would be a good option to have for sure.
I like it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Any other ideas anybody has for these cards? Um,
Yeah, Aldrich, I called you Aldrich. That's one of our characters. That's
yeah,
my character.
your
That's
character.
funny. Yeah. It was all Rick. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool. Print on demand, have it separated by power set, and then you just choose the power set you want to order or that you want to print out, right? So that way it's not just one pack. But yeah, we'll see when we get there, especially for print
Yeah.
on demand stuff. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I will see what their pricing is like because all 480 might be pretty expensive.
Yeah, the most I've seen cards is a 120 pack, and it's like the Game Master's Apprentice, which is a pretty cool pack, but
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think we would need a tool to give you a document of just the power cards you want. I'm not a programmer or um, you know, software developer or anything like that, so I couldn't. But that's something we could maybe look at in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, someone could build a quick code for it or something.
Yeah. Maybe on a character creator or
Be
something of
super
that
cool.
nature, it would be something that would work really well.
Yeah, yeah, because the future, for Indominant, we do want to have an online character creator and character sheet, something that's, it reacts, responds to your choices and your usage of powers and all the works. So definitely want to be able to have that. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to see the card style, on that page and so on. So
Yeah.
yeah, 60 cards is like uh, $20 or something. So it looks like normally on a drive-through.
Yeah. Whew. Ouch. Let's do the math there.
Right?
Uh, you
So
said
it'd
it's
be a little less if
60
you go by 60 cards. So that's
and
front and
20
back, right? You,
bucks.
you print both sides. Like
Yeah.
20 bucks.
That's probably not at cost, but that's $160 for all of them. So that's
Yeah.
more than getting all three books almost, or it's around buying all three books. So yeah, I think we'll have to figure out something, um, at least for like printing services like that. But our goal for like these really minimalist ones would not be to make money. So um, if we do go that route,
Yeah.
maybe just to make it easy, we might do something where it's kind of just at cost. Um, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's nice to have it on hand. Yeah, so I
Absolutely.
know Dagger, you've been in the Discord. I know you've been asking some questions, but today you said you finished going through the entire book, which is awesome and impressive. Thank you for doing that. Um, But do you have any questions now that you did go through the book?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
and
not
for
playing the
everyone too.
music. That's what
If
I'm
you
not doing.
We're just awkwardly vibing. No, I'm just kidding, man. I
Yeah,
have a song in my head, and I'm just,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, Dagger. So yeah, great. You didn't get into the scenarios just yet. I mean, you could read the name titles and you can get the gist of what you're going to go through in them. But yeah, they are fun and built for any level, right?
yeah,
Through level 1 through 5. Um, but yeah, those are pretty fun. Um, I wonder how many folks would be comic editors who are listening in. Do you want to run games or do you want to be a player?
hmm yeah. I wonder. We have. I might be able to fix this whole camera thing for you. Uh, Sakwana. I don't wanna. I might be butchering the name, but I think they were gonna be a comic editor a few times. So
Nice. Yeah, and there was one person who's going to run it for like 12 people. Well, in 2 groups. But was that the one you're talking to?
yeah, that's the person I'm
Yesterday.
talking about. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys need additional resources or anything like that, the primer is really, really good to give you so much to be able to play off of, and that's how we designed it. But yeah, I mean, if you have questions on it, like, oh man, I wish I had this, and let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so D&D Unoptimize. Hoping to try running one soon. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
exciting. I know there's some people waiting for a game. They just need, somebody to invite them in. So, definitely go to the Discord and go to that looking for group and post about your game, or if you need another person. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I thank you, D&D Unoptimized. I know you mentioned that to me directly a couple times that you were thinking about trying to run a game. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anybody perhaps wants to run a game at their local game store, let us know.
hmm
We'd love to, talk to that game store owner and kind of get to know them, wherever they are, and just try and figure out like how can we support that game store, the friendly local game store, right?
hmm
What can we do, to help them have books as well, or any other stuff that they could print out and whatnot to have there, but regardless, I have one not too far off that they're like, yeah, just come sit down and play whatever game you want, and I just buy chips and so on. I'm a patron of the shop. I usually buy dice,
hmm
but there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. You love your dice. That's for sure.
Yeah, can't wait to get our dice. Oh my gosh, Zarek, with the eye with
I
our
know.
Indominant logo on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll that all the time. I'm gonna order extra ones just so I have just extra.
hmm Yeah. And then Ulrich said it looks like the cost calculator says 400 cards would be $46, so it might be around 50 for somebody to buy the whole set through drive-through.
Okay.
So it's not that bad.
I imagine, yeah. The more they do, they probably cost less and less, so
Yeah.
per one. So it's good.
Yeah. Is the music too loud, anybody? Oh, Dagger, so you've got your group of friends that you're trying to get playing, huh? That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and Mike's gonna start back up his game with his group, which is gonna be super cool to see. I was really excited seeing all his posts on Facebook and his group. Yeah, I think so for drive-through, that's like at cost. So if we were trying to do at cost for those cards, maybe we could get away with something like that. So,
Yeah.
because like I said, we aren't really considering these printable cards up. They're not like a product per se. This is just
Yeah.
a tool we're trying to give folks to help them play the game with their friends. So
Yeah. Because ultimately you could play without them, right? Like it doesn't have to be something that we get all crazy about, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's awesome that you have somebody who's. So are you saying you're giving him first dibs to run the game or to be a player? That's very awesome, though. Very exciting.
Nice. And Mike, you have a game on Sunday. Are you going to get back to it? It's awesome. Yeah,
Hmm.
let us know how it goes. We want to hear about it. You know, jump in the Discord on it. Um, and then the more things that random things that happen, the heroic, momentous actions that you do, and all the works. So definitely want to hear on them.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving him first dibs to be a player. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I figured. Um, awesome. That'll be really exciting to hear about. And I'm really excited to see your character submission. I think you mentioned you're gonna submit a character for the event, the challenge. That's also another really exciting thing. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, that one it's been a blast seeing all the we have 8 submissions already, and I'm excited to see more. So, I think even with 8, that's a
You
really
know what?
good running for a vote. It's a lot of folks.
You know what might be fun is talk about the character contest. Maybe I don't know. Open the Discord and just go through characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah.
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 So for those who just tune in or watch the stream later, there is a character challenge, and essentially you would build a super that is within our kind of our species, within our powers and archetypes and so on. So basically, make this concept right. I think up to level 5, right, Zarek?
Yeah, you can make level 1
Yeah.
all the way up to level 5.
Okay. Yeah, so up to level 5, so make their character sheet. But the big thing is, what do they look like? What's their story? What are the things that, make them kind of unique? What's their origins, right? How do they even get their powers? Just things like that. And share that on the Discord, the character concept submissions. And what'll be great is that, depending on the vote, you may actually have your artwork actually created by our artist, Milton Aguilar, and being able to have that art in our books, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, the winner. Yep.
So, mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Trying to get it so that I can actually pull up these submissions in a way that people can see them.
Mm-hmm.
Working off of one monitor is difficult.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, next time I gotta try to run it, Zarek. So just heads up, we'll
Well,
work on that.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause
Next
I still
time
hit the
too,
2. I
though,
got
I should have my desktop. I think I'll have my desktop again
yeah, that's
soon.
true.
So,
Either way.
yeah. Trying to make it as easy to read as possible here.
Right. I know. I wish you
That's
could turn
why.
off the left nav, but okay. I guess yeah, you could do it that way.
Yeah. Let me shrink up this a little bit so we can kind of focus more on the submission. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that is legible for folks. So
So
Sasha made a level 5 hunter using the psionics power set, and they're a humanoid earthling, and they also chose origin is natural, and they're calling as vigilante. So, do you want to read this, or do you want me to, if it's hard to read for you? I don't know if you can't even read it because of the stream, or...
I can just open it. Yeah, I can just open the real one. Yeah, let me read it real quick. So from Sasha Nini, one would not think an unassuming lawyer would be one to take up superheroics, even in a law firm known for defending vigilantes. But such is the case of Joshua Briggs, a man who, like many others, was raised to do the right thing wherever he was able. Among many other things, his study of law taught him also that sometimes the law needed assistance, while the use of the mind tends to come naturally to one who passes the bar exam. Briggs was one of those who would extend his mind outside the body. It's really, really awesome so far. And with help of the man he tailed, when he joined the firm, he took up vigilantism himself. However, unlike so many others, he didn't jump into the line of fire. Instead, while he wore a mask of a sort, he tended to assist from the sideline, preferring to cloud minds rather than directly enter them. The pursuits did not go unnoticed, as news sites and shows picked up stories of a man who seemed to never leave whenever pandemonium broke out. Undeterred, Briggs continues his work, though it gets more difficult to operate discreetly as heroes, villains, and newsfolk are now trying to catch sight of this assisting hero known only as the bystander. That's awesome, the name. I just that's really cool. And I think that's Hero Forge Mini. He went in there and started designing. That's so awesome. Great work, Sasha. Yeah, and this is exactly it. Just having some kind of story behind it. We'd love to hear your story. You know, who they are, maybe a little bit of origin, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think maybe we just go through trying to read the names and like the little write up. Yeah. 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 Oh, hold on. They can't hear you, Zarek.
I muted myself when I was drinking water. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. So, Ulrich, you were asking about the magic power set and the way that powers work in Indominant power set, or a power set can't be that general because it would be hard to make 48 powers, and then there's also 30 talents for every archetype for just that one power set. So that's 150 talents we have to be able to make. And if there's not strong themes that we can tie into, or strong kind of mechanical, mechanical expression of themes, it gets really hard to make a power set like that. So magic is just like, it would be really difficult to create a inherent effect that was, embodied what magic is like in so many ways. So instead you choose an origin, and that's where you would choose magic and how you have magical powers. So we've got several characters that have magical powers, but it's not like Doctor Strange magic where he can do like an infinite number of things. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So this is Sasha's character. Went for a really interesting way or approach of playing a hunter, and using the psionic powers very kind of control oriented actually for a hunter, which is a very interesting way to approach it. So
Yeah.
it definitely fits with the thematic of bystander, and then I think part of why they chose hunter was to get the camouflage so they could turn invisible and disappear, kind of that like Ricky Red. It's that thematic of
The
you didn't even know they were
bystander.
there.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then the next one we have here is, let me pull it up, Blind Justice. This one is a lot of fun too. I think
Mhm.
we'll do like a, I'll go through the mechanical,
Yeah.
or I'll try to read the overview parts of it. Um, just because some of these are really detailed and that's awesome and we love that, but also don't want to go too crazy reading the whole thing. Would like folks to join the Discord and read themselves, and we'll post all the
Yeah.
information as well on the for the poll. You'll be able to access every
Yeah.
character sheet
Just
before we
order of submission here. Okay. No,
yeah.
there's no favorites or anything like that. It's just order of who submitted first. That's all.
Yeah. So Blind Justice is made by Gold. His real name is a secret identity, Smith Faraday. He's an arbiter with a martial arts power set. Another human. Humans are generally the most common in superheroes, which is expected, even though we think we have some really fun species. But and then mutation is the origin, and the calling is hero, and also made at level 5. So the story is, I'll just read the first bits here. What is to be made of a man who lives a law office job? That is the question a young Smith Faraday asked himself one summer afternoon whilst having a lunch break alongside a few of his friends. Jokingly, they passed him a blindfold and told him to put it on. This joke would change Smith Faraday's life forever. Putting on that blindfold triggered a deep-laden mutation within him, awakening a natural aptitude for a unique martial art known as the Law's Hammer. He would quickly become known by the Intergalactic Defense Council, and he would sign up to become a hero they call on when they need a serious degree of martial expertise or just a damn good lawyer. And so I think part of the fun aspect of this character is it's the sort of pulpy superhero concept where he literally put a blindfold on and got superpowers. Like, it's kind of hilarious and goofy in a way, and I think it's very fun. So yeah, he got like super senses because of that, and he has a briefcase and a gavel, which are his weapons that he uses his martial arts with. And then for the mechanical information, Blind Justice plays more like a slippery frontline guardian that can support his team through punching the lights out of nastier foes. Thanks to having high durability, Blind Justice does very well when it comes to handling regular attacks, and thanks to Ki and the never-ending talent, sacrificing his other stats doesn't matter nearly as much as one would expect. Warrior of the Body further assists this aim, ensuring that Blind Justice is a defensive monster. If costume upgrades are in the picture, it just gets even better and more reliable. And so the fun part about this one is the talent. I'll show it. Pull up. So the talent that is kind of the main thing here is, if I can get this all out of the way, is that of Warrior of the Body. And so that is a tier 1 talent for Arbiter with the martial arts power set, and that turns them, instead of a ranged archetype, into a melee archetype, and they have a shorter range, but it gives them extra critical hit chance and the ability to critically succeed on stat checks, which is not normally possible. And critical successes on stat checks completely negate the damage and negative effects that they inflict, even if the power says that when the target succeeds, it still does XYZ thing. So it's a very interesting way to make an arbiter who's normally like a ranged support be somebody who can get up in the mix of things and be very durable. So we had a lot of fun with that one. It's
Yeah.
the only one of its kind that does that so far. Um, so definitely very interesting, and I would love to see how that affects Blind Justice being played, because arbiters, like their archetype abilities require range, so you've got shorter range for those, which you have to consider. I mean, all the ranged powers. So he built the character to have very high durability as well. That way, it's
Which is totally
very
doable.
tough to take down. Yeah, so it's really cool, creative way to take a arbiter and kind of flip them on their head a little bit. Instead of being purely supportive and ranged, it sort of turn them into like a support tank, which is really cool.
Yeah. And just totally viable.
Yeah,
totally viable. So
yeah,
really cool.
And then we've got Donnelly's submission, Old Man Entropy. He chose a level 4 Guardian with the Ice Manipulation power set. The species is Energoid, and they're the Velican with the natural origin, and they're calling as Researcher. I don't think I'm showing this somewhere. Yeah. Let me just leave that off. There we go. Yeah, here's the image. So the goal with this one, I think, is to be very controlling as a Guardian with ice manipulation powers, and very durable. There was a later version of the character sheet. Yeah, and very interestingly, put 0 points, stat points into intellect. So this character's attack mod is 0. Another very interesting choice. It's kind of a way I like to play Guardians.
Yeah, not to worry about attacking.
Right, and just worry about control. So considering that Donnelly took mostly powers that required checks and things of that nature. It's like Frost Breath, uses control modifier. Snowman, another really good control power. So things of that nature, and yeah.
Really cool examples of like min-maxing and this one and Blind Justice.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's all good. It's totally viable to do that. I think that's another thing I love about our system too. Is like you can make it in certain ways where you're like extreme meta, and still be a very valuable part of the team.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And then the next one, because we've got a few more here. There we go. No worries, Mike. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a good one.
So this one is from Jesse. Cold Iron wards off evil. So the character's name is Cold Iron. Level 5 Bruiser with the Ice Manipulation power set. Another human with the technology origin this time. And the calling is Researcher. Oh, I need to drink some water. My throat's like drying up from talking so much. Do you want to read about this one?
Yeah. That one's Cold Iron, right? Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, so Bruiser, Ice Manipulation, and species as human. Putting that together, Eden Murphy, an R&D refrigeration technician for family-run company, always wanting to make things better despite the lack of company of his family. He was inspired to do more after installing a new refrigeration unit in the aftermath of a foiled villain plot. With the help of his R&D team, they build a combat suit to let him fight back against villainy. Nice. That's awesome. It's like Mr. Freeze in some ways.
Yeah. Very
But yeah,
fun.
again, here's might. 5 might.
Yeah. So Bruiser, I actually take Bruisers a different way. So I always love seeing different people's approach to creating character. I love to go might and durability on Bruisers and not care too much about power. Just because Brutal Strike gives you good damage off of your might, and then it just makes you so durable.
Yeah.
And you get good control. You get good accuracy, but you don't hit super hard.
Right.
So this one is really fun because their talent, they chose the Frozen Punisher talent for Bruiser, which makes it so when they deal damage to a target that has 3 or more chill stacks or is frozen, all the damage they deal is penetrating, which is very powerful, especially because the inherent effect gives you an extra chance to critically hit. So getting a penetrating critical hit can just be very powerful, especially against an enemy that has shields.
Yeah.
And then just Brutal Chill to get more chill stacks from their Brutal Strike archetype, or to get a chill stack so that they can put 2 chill stacks on one person, one threat in a round. And just a good all-around selection of powers. Oh, I might not have pulled up the latest one because I know Jesse
He made a change to it?
Yeah, they're missing the
Nice.
last 3 powers, so there was a few more powers I had to choose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think cool too. I mean, just role playing out how all those powers are penetrating, you know, like you can say your ice is like it's so cold that, you know, it like super freezes the area or something, or they're just big giant ice spike with every single punch you do. Just something cool, you know, and it's just you can completely change a character with just a talent change. You know,
Yeah.
we're seeing that here with these level 5 characters. So cool.
Yeah, so next we'll jump to Eudex. Oh, sorry. Shooting Star.
Nice.
So this one
Yeah,
is
that's a Sequana. That's Sequana too.
Yeah, they posted 2 of them and they chose, I told them it's only 1 per person, so I told them they had to choose which one,
Sure.
and they chose Shooting Star. So this is a level 5 blaster with the gadgetry power set, which is a really fun combo that I'm excited to see played more. Another Earthling, so a humanoid Earthling with the science origin this time, and they're calling it Contractor, which is a little bit different, one we haven't seen.
Yeah.
In the other submissions, I should say. Yeah, and actually quite a nice little average spread of their stat points, which is good. They've got good attack mod, damage mod, and then they're not super squishy with their agility and durability.
It's a fun description. It says, outwardly she appears to be a 30-something black woman with green eyes and afro. Internal scans show clusters of mech points for her to interact with her tech. She stands about 5'6" and weighs 150 pounds. She seems relatively fit, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, so she, I think, has... she plugged herself
there's artwork.
into the
That's
machine.
awesome.
Yeah. Plugged herself into into a machine she was working on and kind of fused with it. So, really cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The first 2 tiers of the blaster talents aren't like super crazy like the arbiter ones at tier 1. So they got the damage boost when attacking at long range, attack modifier boost when attacking at long range, and then also some good defensive utility with the nano armor dice talent. So yeah, good all-around character. I think gadgetry works really well for that because it's got a lot of good utility and control built in as well.
Yeah. So yeah, being able to, take a look at the different, if these 5 folks so far were on a team together, they'd all work so well together, right? Because they're all really good at one kind of function of the team, right? And especially all the min-maxing going on is just fun. But honestly, having a great bruiser that can always deal penetrating, and then having this one that can deal a high amount of damage as well with like maximum amount of power selected. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But it allows so much fun complexity with that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll take a look here at the last few. So the next one we've got is Eudex, level 5 bruiser with the earth manipulation powers, and they are the first heavy chromid that we've ever seen somebody besides one of us make. So super excited about that. And an interesting mutation origin. So I think Eudex was nearly completely destroyed, and there was a mutation that occurred in their unicore. This is all very lore tied stuff, so it was really cool that the person used the lore to create their character. And this is a villain calling as well. So after they came back, they had like a new purpose. They've been kind of misled and turned into a villain. I think is the art on here. Yeah, so there's the art. Earth manipulation bruiser chromid, which is just really fun. Using a hero forge, so obviously it's not going to look exactly like the chromids normally do, but
yeah, still awesome.
Oh yeah,
I think cool. they made like one foot look different. Yeah, one arm look different. So must be like the one side that was heavily damaged.
Right, replaced parts. I think part of the story they said is like they've got a bunch of different replaced parts and modifications and repairs that have been made. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's great too is like having a calling of villain. Most superhero games, I don't know, they don't. I haven't seen too many that you just outright can play as a villain. But I think what's cool here is that it's all up to you and how you want to role play that, right? Are you the villain trying to get information because you're a double agent, right? Are you trying to undermine the entire group covertly or secretly? And maybe you're going to work with a comic editor on that, right? You're the big bad at the end of the game or something.
Yeah, or like maybe the villain that gets turned into a hero. Like kind of convinced to become a hero by their like new friends,
Yeah, your calling is not permanent.
Right.
Role playing is role playing, so ultimately you could totally change it. So yeah, that's a great point. The misunderstood villain,
No, not misunderstood, just they changed their mind.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just going to go to the last two here. This one's work in progress, but it's Kira in our Discord. They started with level 1 blaster, fire manipulation, another human with a mutation origin, and they're a vigilante. So they don't have like all their story yet or a character sheet to show, but they're still working on it. And then we've got Overtime from Mike. Mike is one of the players that we met in person, not at Dice Tower, but that was at, what was that event called? You remember? That we kept going to at the MGM in Vegas?
Oh yeah, at the Luxor, wasn't it?
Oh, it was at the Luxor. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Luxor, the arena thing. Watch now. You're gonna remember the name of the place. like a barcade
Well,
kind of thing.
yeah, it's that gaming arena in there. But what was the event called? Anyways, there's an event we were going to as a local board game night at the Luxor, um, and
Yeah,
so we met.
HyperX Arena though. Yeah.
HyperX Arena, yeah, that's what it's called. And then their event, they just ran like a weekly board game night kind of thing. And so we were going there trying to meet folks and have people play the game. And that's where we met Mike, who created Overtime. Another level 5. This one's a gadgetry power set, but an Arbiter archetype. And they are the Emergil species, so they're alien. And they have the science origin and a suit calling. So another one, only suit I think that I've seen so far in the submissions, I should specify.
Yeah.
Very fun story, and interesting to see how he created character because we played with him multiple times in the past. So
yeah.
Do you want to read a bit about Overtime?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll read the first little half here. So, yeah, my midday break is starting, so I have a few minutes to talk. Middle managers. Only second in the galaxy to Vogan bureaucrats for unpleasantness and potential evil, the bane of all. Countless lemmings push paper and rearrange desk chairs on Earth vessel. Titanic sinks. I was one, but not anymore. I'm excited to share that my recent move to GLU Applied Science Logistics has opened up new opportunities for me. So I'll leave it there because it's actually kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, he didn't put the photo in his character sheet. It's all good, but he's got a fun photo.
Yeah, I'm showing it.
And that's the thing for anyone, you could it looks like AI, right? But you can use that to submit, but ultimately we would make art from a real artist for the book. So
yeah, our artist Milton, he draws by hand with pencil and paper to start, and then he does his line work on paper too with ink, actual pen, and then he does all his colors digitally. So yeah, it's a pretty good representation of an Emergil. I'll show.
Yeah.
I'll show the Emergil. We have 2 Emergils that have art actually.
There you got Guido with his wonderful dog, Dogi. Yeah, we made actually a power that somebody could flavor the animal that it resembles, but it is like Doggy. It's like a robotic dog.
Yeah.
It's like my best friend or something. What was the name of that? I forget.
I can't remember what we called it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Guido. Let me make him a little bigger. And then, do you remember the second one that's Emergil? I don't think you know what I was talking about, or you're just not remembering, but you'll see.
Yeah, I don't remember. What are you talking about?
It's a threat.
Oh yeah, that's why, because it's not a named person.
Yeah.
That's why. It's not a hero. No. Yeah, one of our Blood Syndicate mobsters. Really like the art on it because I got to tell Milton to like put this with his suit. It's a pinstripe suit, and the way he holds his pistol is like accurate, and all this stuff. So